Hello and welcome back to another episode of Just Between Us for the girls who dare to dream big and live fully. I am your host, Bre.
And I'm your host, Siobhan. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening, tuning in. We honestly, our favorite part of every single week, I swear, before we start filming every single episode each week, we're like, just so happy to be here. We love this. It's the fastest couple of hours of my entire week. It goes so quickly
I
because we
agree.
just love it. And so if you also love it, please feel free to share, follow, do all of the things, comment anything on this episode, any other episodes that you've listened to that's resonated with you. But yeah, let's jump into it. This is actually, I really love the topic that we're talking about today. I know that it's something that both of us have actually quite heavily struggled with in the past, but I also know that we both have very strong opinions on a lot of the ways that this topic is kind of abused in a sense. So we're just going to be kind of diving into gut health, giving you some tangible tips, things that will actually help your gut health, help your digestive system, all of that good stuff. I think a lot of females, if not all females, at some point in their life talk about inflammation, bloating, gut health. And it's a massive topic, especially in the past couple of years. Everything is now getting blamed on your gut health. And to a certain extent, I do think your gut is connected to so many things within your body. Like there's the thing called the brain gut axis. Like there's hundreds of neuro pathways that go between your brain and your gut. So it is linked to so many different things. And it is such an important topic. But we are also now, I feel like, getting to that point, like we do it with pretty much everything in the health and fitness industry, that we're using it as an excuse instead of actually just recognizing what it is. So where should we start?
I truly believe that a lot of the time, I've had SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I had to do a full gut protocol to clear that out and, fix my gut. I can now eat gluten, dairy, all the things, which I've only just kind of like started doing because I was scared of it for so long. And I just started doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I did actually do the work and healed my gut. But majority of the population, it is not an actual thing just yet. It can develop into something like SIBO, candida, a leaky gut, all that sort of stuff. But majority of the time, people would rather just take a pill or blame it on something or, swallow something to fix everything instead of fixing the root cause. And that is a band-aid and it'll only work for so long. So majority of the time, if you aren't eating enough fiber, and we're talking like 20 to 25 grams of fiber for most females, if you have too much or too little, you're going to have the same kind of side effects, I would say, where you either get explosive diarrhea or everything's super
Wow,
liquidy, or
explosive.
yeah, maybe not explosive, or you have like little pebbles. So look at the Bristol stool chart, Google that. Where's your shit looking? You got to fix your shit if it's not in the, I think it's like 6 or 7. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure. But basically, if you aren't doing the bare minimum for your body, you are going to feel bloated and inflamed and uncomfortable. And majority of that comes down to consistency in every aspect of your life. I know for me, if I have a late night or I go out drinking or something like that, my digestive system and my bowel movements are slightly off. So I just have to get straight back into what I know has helped me be consistent. I wake up first thing in the morning and bowel movements happen straight away. That is what's consistent for me and what I know my body does. And if it doesn't do that, then I've done something and it's like, okay, cool. What do I need to change in order to feel my normal self again? Whereas most people are like, oh, what do I need to take? I need to take laxatives. I need to take, diuretics. I need to drink coffee or caffeine to get it through, like whatever that is. But it's like, if you aren't getting quality sleep is so important. People don't understand that for your gut health. Like sleep is so important. And then if you're not getting enough fiber and you're just eating so much processed foods, no wonder why you're not feeding your body what it needs to obviously function properly. And then if you are, not moving or training or walking, that helps everything move through and flow malfunctions. That helps everything move. Like moving your body. If you feel like you're struggling, go for a walk. But if you're sitting down all day and you never train, you never move your body, of course, it all comes down to like the same thing, simple things of looking after your body. And your body is telling you there's an issue going on and it will show up, but you're just trying to go away, go away. But listen to it. It's trying to tell you something to make that change. I'm going to hand the baton.
Yeah, no, I Love that you also said at the start, because this is exactly what happened to me, and I'm guessing it might have also been what happened to you. But the reason that I had candida. So you've had one type of gut disorder. I've had a completely like different type, but which is really interesting as well. But I got it because for years prior to me actually causing my gut to like freak out, I was not doing the basic things. I was not actually taking care of myself. That's why I then got a gut disorder. It didn't just magically appear by itself out of nowhere. Like extra bacteria didn't just start growing in my gut for no reason. It was because I was actually just disrespecting my body for so many years beforehand. And I'm guessing it was probably similar to you. Like we just don't take care of ourselves in the right ways. And then all of a sudden there's a specific problem, but we forget to actually understand why that problem showed up. Most of our problems in life just don't randomly show up, whether it's with your gut or not. There's usually so many points leading up to that we just keep, as you said, pushing down, being like, no, this doesn't matter. No, I don't need to focus on that, until your body forces you to pay attention to it with something more serious, which is exactly what happened for me. And it is, consistency is the number one thing, no matter again what you're dealing with, whether it's also, we're talking about gut health, we're talking about building muscle, losing weight. It is always down to consistency. And I know that you guys are probably really bored of us saying that or hearing that, but it is true. It always comes down to consistency. And the thing with your gut health specifically is, and this also comes down to if you are taking supplements for your gut, or you're just making sure that you're eating fiber, you're focusing on your sleep, you're doing movement. If you do those, whatever the thing is, for 1 week, don't expect your gut to just randomly like be fine. Like we need to be doing these things for longer. It doesn't take a couple of days for everything to just fix itself. If you are trying something, if you start eating a 20 to 25 grams of fiber in your diet every single day, and you're still feeling bloated, not having regular bowel movements after a week, don't give up. Keep doing it. It takes time to build these things up and for your body to start adapting and respond to what you're doing. Again, it's the quick fix mentality that has come in for gut health so much. We are trying to search for these random de-bloat drinks that are just absolute bullshit.
Don't waste your
Like,
goddamn money.
yeah,
Come on
so
now.
many of the products in general that say that they're targeting specific things like gut health, the amount of supplements that are coming out now that saying that they're targeting GLP-1 supplements, I'm actually going to lose my mind. Like we need to also understand that when we're looking at supplements, usually when they're like really bright and colorful, if it's making a really, really bold claim in your face, run the other way. Like those
If it sounds
usually,
too good to be true,
yeah,
it is.
it probably is. Yeah. It's one of those things that you are just going to waste your money on. And most of those things are usually really expensive as well. They're so pricey and they do absolutely nothing for you. But yeah, reeling my rant back in, I can feel myself getting very agitated.
Keep going. Keep going.
But no, it is the basics, right? We don't need to be looking for quick fix pills. We don't need to be looking for different powders or supplements. If you're doing all of that stuff already, and you're still experiencing digestive discomfort, stomach pain, bloating, stuff like that, then sure, we can kind of look into other supplements. We can kind of go down different routes. But for the majority of the population, it is not that. You literally just needing to strip it back. And again, stop trying to put a band-aid over something that you can quite easily fix for yourself. It's not even something that's broken necessarily. It's just that you're not treating your body with enough respect for it to run optimally. Just focus on those basic things. Now, the other thing when it comes to your gut health specifically is there's obviously some stuff that you can do to improve your gut health. Again, if you actually are, you're like, yeah, I'm already doing all of those foundations. I'm already doing those basic things. I'm consistent with them, but I just want to like optimize my gut health even more. There are some things that you can do. Again, a lot of them are actually just based around natural things that we want to do, healthy habits, healthy behaviors. But one, for your diet, alongside the fiber, your gut is made up of just like millions of bacteria, and there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. To have a healthy gut, we want just a higher level of the good bacteria. If you start to have a higher level of the bad bacteria, that's then when you can start having problems. The way that we feed the good bacteria in our gut, your gut loves variety in your diet, specifically when it comes to different colors of fruits and veggies and a variety of fruits and veggies. So there's kind of this like guideline, and it sounds like a lot, but when you actually break it down, it's not. But to have optimal gut health in terms of like feeding your gut bacteria, if you can eat a variety of 30 different fruits, vegetables, herbs, and spices throughout your week, you're basically covering all of those healthy bacteria basis through your diet. So that's like a really simple way of just mix up your fruits and veggies throughout the week. Don't eat the exact same veggies or fruits in every single meal every single day. If you can add more variety in your diet, your gut is just naturally going to thrive a little bit better.
I think diversity is underrated. And like, yes, it's so good to, in the health and wellness space, to have consistency and eat the same sorts of things. So, you know, if that changes every single week, and it doesn't have to be drastic, like it, honestly, herbs are one of the most dense nutritional value you can add that to anything. Like if you're cooking a pasta, just fucking go ham on that. And like, just put those sorts of things in your diet. They always say, eat the rainbow. Like that is one of the most important things that you can do to feed your gut microbiome. And I also think like when it comes down to most people choosing that quick fix, it is always just like, if you just did the work, you wouldn't have these problems. So the long way is the short way. It is the only way. We have like so many more gut issues, so many more mental issues, so many issues in our life, skin issues, skin conditions, all coming from the gut, all because of our modern diet. And back in the day, they didn't have this many issues because they were eating from the ground. If it grows on trees, it has a mum and dad, and it, you know, lives in the ground or like whatever, it's pretty good. It's pretty okay. And that is feeding your gut microbiome. But if you're eating constant processed foods all the time, they're not bad. Like, yes, it's soul foods. I like to call it soul foods to feed your, you know, not have that restrictive mentality. But if your diet is 80% that, and then you're just eating a little bit of fruits and vegetables, you are going to have issues. And I think most people think, oh, I want to eat whatever I want and I want to do whatever I want and have good gut health. How do I do it? It's like, no, you can't have your cake and eat it too in that sense. Like you can't be like, oh, I just want to sit on the couch all day and, you know, smoke a joint and eat munchies all day and I want to be the fittest person ever. You can't have that. Like you're delulu to think that you can. You actually have to put in the work to feed your body, to actually look after your body. Just like if you're putting oil in your car but you don't put petrol in it, it's not going to run. So if you're eating certain foods, you know, just veggies or just, you know, I guess like processed foods, your body's not going to thrive. And unfortunately, our modern world is meant for us to, I hope we don't get cancelled for this. It's meant for us to rely on the government and it's meant for us to rely on big pharmaceutical industry. So big pharma only focuses on profit. If a supplement or if for example, peptides are the new craze, we can do an episode on that. But like, if these things aren't making them enough money, they won't legalize it. Like that is the truth. So unfortunately, you go to your doctor and they have gone to uni and been told this is the way that we do things, and they're going to practice that. There are amazing doctors out there these days that actually understand, but you have to find the right doctor. Most people, all they need to be prescribed is exercise every day. And that could just be a 20-minute walk. Doesn't matter. Exercise daily, get your sleep, focus on managing your stress, and eat better foods. If you did that, I reckon 90% of the population would be healed instantly. But because we constantly do this, like the reason why, as Shev said before, the reason why I had gut issues is because I was bulimic. I would chow down on absolutely everything, throw it up. And every single day after, my gut was so sore. I was so gassy, like it smelled putrid. And that is because my body's like, what the fuck are you doing? Please stop this. We will do everything in our power to tell you. But if you keep searching for the quick fix, you are going to be exhausted when you figure out nothing works and you spent years doing all this stuff. We want to save you that time and just start looking after your body. Not only are you going to feel better, mentally, physically, you're going to feel clearer. You're going to be able to work better. You're actually going to be happier. And you're actually going to not so much feel lethargic and all the things. It is so important to actually look after this gift that you have been given. Your body is a gift. Don't take it for granted. It is a privilege to look after it. It is a privilege privilege to be like, I want to get lean. I want to look fitter. I want to work on my body. It's a privilege. Like, you have a roof over your head. You can choose the food that you eat. You can meal prep. You can go train. Like, that is a privilege. Don't waste that, because there's so many people out there that are just trying to get by, and that is absolutely all they can do. Like, I live in Thailand currently, and I see it. There's this guy down the road that literally has like this canopy, and he's outside cooking food on his fire, and it doesn't even look like a house, and he's vibing, he's got music playing, and he is so grateful. So you need to stop taking advantage and, you know, I guess like abusing your privilege that you have been given, and stop pointing the finger and going, it's this, it's that, it's this. No, your body works as a whole, and you need to take a holistic approach, because if you aren't looking at it holistically, most of the time that's what doctors do, that's what specialists do. They will be like, cool, you know, we're focusing on this one thing, this is my specialty, let's do this. But they don't look at every other aspect that comes into play when you are trying to heal your body holistically. It is complex, but it is more simple than you think. You guys are just overcomplicating it and thinking like, oh, but I need this supplement. Back in the day, we didn't have supplements. We didn't have all this stuff because we got the nutrients from the food that we ate. So take a page out of the fucking caveman's book, and they didn't have problems. They didn't have issues. They didn't have processed food. They didn't have, you know, all these sorts of things. But it's like, we think we need a lot more than we do, but your body actually doesn't. If you do the bare minimum, you will not have problems. Please know that.
Yeah. I also don't even think that it's us overcomplicating things most of the time. I think it's most people just looking for the way of the least amount of effort. It's going back to, we are just adverse to doing the hard work and the thing that usually takes the longest amount of time, which is actually getting consistent with the basics. For some reason, we have this notion in our head that if we take a supplement, it's just going to fix all of our problems. Like, I don't even know where that came from, because that's not how any supplement for anything works. But the action of just having to take one supplement feels a lot easier than having to go for a 20-minute walk, for having to meal prep your food, for having to make sure that you're managing your stress. So we're going for the easy option. Most of the time, I genuinely don't even think that we're trying to overcomplicate it. We're just trying to not do hard work. We're
Shift the
trying to,
blame.
again, avoid the things that we know will actually work, and just try and get a quick fix, and then just keep trying to find new quick fixes without learning that none of these quick fixes are working. So why would a different one? Like, come on. Stop wasting your money. Come on.
What's going on? So should we give them like our top things? You go first, wait.
Yeah, I want to hammer down another point that I'm quite strong on this. And again, maybe we have different opinions than other people do on this, but I'm going to go back to the GP topic. There is obviously so many places that GPs, Western medicine, have their place. They save millions of lives every single day, and I'm not discrediting that. In my opinion, if you have anything that you are trying to work on that has got to do with your nutrition, do not go to a GP. They genuinely, most of them, do not even know what they're talking about when it comes to nutrition. Now, don't quote me on this, because I don't know if this is 100% true. I think it is true, but I'm pretty sure that when you go to uni and study to become a general practitioner, they do one module around nutrition. Everything else is based on other things, science. Like, they're ridiculously smart people. Like, don't get me wrong. They study very hard. They're good at what they do. But from a nutrition aspect, they actually have not even studied to be able to tell you or to understand what's going on when we're talking about nutritional things. Even from like a blood test perspective, this is one of the areas that riles me up so much. And I get so many of my clients to go and do blood tests, and I tell them to send me the results every single time, not to just listen to what their GP has told them. Because when you look at blood tests, the scale of what is normal or average is fucking huge for most things. Like, the scale can literally be like, if you're within 17 to 250 of something, of a nutrient, it's considered normal. You're fine. But they don't actually look into, yeah, cool, you might be at like the 18 of that scale. That's probably not optimal for your body, but they just look and be like, yeah, cool, you're in that range, so you're fine. So my big thing is, a lot of like the health issues do come down to the way that you fuel your body, and can be fixed or helped or managed via your diet. Most of the things that we deal with or that we go to a GP for can help be managed through your diet. Seek other opinions. rather than just your GP, because they are there to put a band-aid on your issues. They are there to give you a specific pill to tell you to take a specific thing without actually figuring out what the root cause of it is. And in my opinion, most of them actually just don't have the education, specifically when it comes to nutrition, to even understand what's going on within your body. Would highly recommend always getting other advice from nutritionists, dietitians, like other qualified coaches, naturopaths, people who actually spend their time studying purely nutrition and can help you understand what's going on.
To go back on your blood test sort of thing, is like the blood tests are the average of what the consensus is that they see, and majority of the time that is sick people and
Yeah.
elderly people that get regular blood tests, so they are basing it off that, and they're not looking at optimal, they're looking at standard and averages. So if you want optimal, you need to seek help elsewhere. And unfortunately, I do think, like, uni these days is not teaching what we actually need to know, because they want us to be dependent on them. They want us to, I'm pretty sure doctors get a commission for prescribing certain things. Like, I'm pretty sure they
Which is
do.
crazy.
Crazy. So they'd rather give you a pill, they'd rather give you a supplement, they'd rather give you something else so that they make more money and more commission. It's corrupt. Unfortunately, it is corrupt. And when it does come down to your health, like, I truly believe, if you take offense to this or not, I don't care, because, like, you need to make a change if this is you. If you are overweight and you are complaining about gut issues, skin issues, you're complaining about lethargy, tiredness, you're complaining about any sort of these things, if you aren't doing the bare minimum, you're not focusing on moving your body intentionally every day, you're not focusing on nourishing your body and actually eating quality food that is real food, or you're not focusing on your sleep and managing your stress, then you need to do that first before you seek help. And when it comes to supplementation, I think we should definitely do an episode on this, but when it comes to supplements, it is helping you increase the deficiencies in your diet. It is not replacing anything. You can't go, cool, I'm gonna, greens are technically a supplement. I don't really understand, but you can't just drink a greens drink and never eat greens again. It is a supplement to support boosting that, not to replace it. When we tell our clients, to have certain supplements, it's not for us to be like, you can't, focus on anything else now. It's like, this is going to help benefit, but it's not going to take the gist of it. And like you said, everyone would rather just think, I can take a pill and nothing else matters. But it's like, you actually have to look at all these different facets in your life and show up the best that you can in those areas. And supplements is one of the last things I will tell people to focus on, because then you become reliant on, well, I'm just not going to do the work. I'm just going to take these supplements and hope for the best. And then I'm going to complain the plan doesn't work for me because, the supplements aren't doing that thing. It's like, no, you've got to do the thing, and the supplements will help support you in doing the thing. It's like literally the 1% on top of everything else that you've got to do. And it's same comes down to peptides, same comes down to everything else. You cannot just avoid doing what actually works by choosing a quick fix. Both together create optimization, but you also have to be careful of the quality. I don't buy from pharmacies. I just genuinely don't, because they don't have to say specifically what's in it. I buy externally, and there's only a few brands I trust. I buy on iHerb. I love Thorn Research, Now Foods, Doctor's Best. Do you have any others that you... I think there's one more, but I can't quite remember it. But quality actual supplements. I genuinely feel like, there's just so many wrong things out there, but it's so easy to get brainwashed. And the reason why Shev and I know so much about this is because what we were told didn't work. I've been on Roaccutane, but it comes back after 3 years, depending on the person, if you don't fix the root cause. I took it because I wanted instant results. Same with like GLP-1 and things like that. It can help you, motivate you, and support you and everything like that. But people who aren't even in the overweight category are getting their hands on the shit now. And that is not okay. And needs to say for another podcast, but just do the thing. It feels so good. Where are you spending your time? Like, meal prep, spend the time going for walks. Don't watch TV and go out for a walk with your partner. Watch the sunrise, sunset. You will live a better quality life in every aspect if you actually do these things. It sounds like a lot of effort, but once you get it into your routine, like anything, it becomes the new normal. You feel on top of the world, and then you see what you're capable of, and then you just more opportunities, better health, everything just optimizes. So it's not just this. And we love health and fitness, not only because, yeah, you feel good, you look good, you have more confidence, but because internally you actually grow as a person. It's like everything that we've done, everything that we've learned, we want to learn more. We actually love learning more. And that makes us more creative. We tap into our, when you are learning more, I'm going on a weird tangent here, but when you are learning more, like that actually stimulates you as a human. The minute you stop, it's like the whole saying of nothing changes, nothing changes. Nothing changes, things get worse. I say this all the time, but it's like if you aren't learning and growing and evolving as a human, you are dying. It is literal facts. It is absolute facts. So not only doing these things will benefit your quality of life and who you be, but it will open up more opportunities. You'll believe you're more capable, and like, I don't know, everyone needs to have their phase, their era of focusing on their health and fitness, because it will absolutely change your life. You don't have to be an addict. I'm barely at the gym anymore. It's not something that has to overhaul your life. It complements it. So that's my rant over.
Bring it back to gut health.
Yeah, I don't know
We
where
like
that was coming
started at
from.
gut health, went in like a massive circle.
I don't think it went in a circle. It went like,
all the way over here.
bye. Brie, come back.
You, apart from the basics, the just do the shit that you know works, regardless of whether it feels like more effort or not. Get your sleep, drink your water, eat a varied diet, eat enough fiber. Any other tangible tips specifically for gut health?
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
So mindful eating is a massive one. Your body needs to be in its rest and digest state in order to digest and absorb the nutrients properly. If you're scrolling on your phone, you're watching TV all the time, when you're eating, you are in your fight or flight state. You are stimulated. And that is if you're rushing, you're running. I used to do this all the time. I recommend all my clients to do this. It's on their check-in form every single week. Do you mindfully eat? Sit outside in the sun if you can. Ideally, everyone is lacking in vitamin D. 5 deep breaths before you eat. Big deep breaths into your belly and then out. And then you sit with your food and you be bored and you enjoy that food. You will less likely overeat. You will heal your hunger hormones. You will actually be able to, I guess, listen to them and trust them if you're not distracted. Like I said in another podcast, it's like you just walk away and you forgot what you were doing. But it's the exact same. You finish your meal and you're like, I'm so hungry, because you scoffed it down. You weren't even present in that moment. And then now you're hungry, you'll eat more food, but it hasn't even hit your stomach yet. So make sure you are present. Chew slowly. Don't just like swallow whole. Most people don't realize they do it, but they do it. Don't rush out. Don't eat while you're driving. Like, make the time. And yeah, everyone says I don't have the time. Yes, you fucking do. Don't touch your phone in the first thing in the morning, and you'll have probably like an hour more time than you actually realize. So mindful eating is one of the most important things. Deep breathing, all that sort of stuff. I would say snacking is like, I have a snack-free household. I don't snack. I don't believe in snacking a lot of the time, because it just kind of causes, like, your body needs time to fully digest. And if you don't leave it enough time, 3 to 5 hours. So the golden is 4 hours between meals. And if you are wanting snacks, your meal prior just wasn't sufficient enough, or maybe you're emotionally or binge eating or whatever it may be, or maybe you're thirsty. But if you aren't doing all these things, you'll notice a massive difference. But yeah, so mindfully eating, and then what was I saying? I realized I was going on another tangent, and then I stopped myself, and now I stopped all my thoughts that happened. And then, oh yeah, so like snacking and stuff like that, you're constantly doing that. Like, it's actually unnecessary for your body to fully digest, to fully absorb, to actually get out what you need. You should be hungry before your next meal. It is okay. It's uncomfortable for some people, but it is okay to feel hungry. That is normal. It's actually very important. I also think if you struggle with digestion, doing a little 10-minute walk after you eat is also a great way to help digestion as well, move things along. So yeah, 4 hours between meals, mindfully eat. You can have like a little bit of carbs before your training, absolutely, but main meals are so important. Most of the time, you need to eat solid meals that have nutritional benefit. Protein, yes, carbs, and fats. It's so, and obviously fiber comes within that as well. What do you recommend, Shev?
Just a very clear point on the snacking thing too. Your diet should be made up of bigger, balanced main meals, not the other way around. We shouldn't be having random small meals, 10,000 snacks throughout the day, and then not having main meals. Like, it needs to be your 3 main meals. If you're then having like a snack in the evening, dessert, whatever, cool, that's great. I have chocolate every single day. I will always have chocolate every single day because it just brings me a load of happiness. 90% of your day, it should be focused around that consistent meals, main meals that have all of those things that you just said: protein, carbs, fats, fiber comes into it naturally, and then micronutrients. What was I going to say? Oh, um, oh,
I just want to touch on that. When it comes to the digestion thing, if you feel like you're always lethargic, always tired, always, and you're a snacker, your body is trying to digest that. So it's got to put its energy somewhere. And if you're always eating, you're always trying to digest, and then you can't focus. So it is also affecting so much more than just like your weight loss journey and your hunger signals. It's actually affecting your ability to focus and concentrate and your energy levels as well.
yeah. Great point. um, One of the biggest things for gut health in general, eat. Eat your fucking food. I think eat your breakfast, but also just eat in general. So many people who end up having really bad digestive systems is because they don't eat enough. They are under eating for prolonged periods of time, and therefore your digestive system actually just can't operate properly because it's not digesting. So there's kind of two sides to that. If you're eating too much throughout the day, like too much snacking, you're not having yourself enough space between meals, your digestive system is having to work too hard. If you're under eating, not only are you just naturally not going to be getting enough fiber, which then also leads to you not having great digestion, but your digestive system can't work optimally because it is just not having to work enough. Like, it's not, again, kind of like how muscles work. We build muscles by continuously using them and making them stronger. If you're under eating, you're going to be deficient in a whole heap of nutrients that helps the gut thrive. You're not going to be getting enough fiber, and your digestive system is just not working optimally. So one of the biggest problems that I see as well is just girls are under eating and then wondering why they feel bloated, why they're not getting bowel movements. Like, it's because you're not eating enough food. Like, fucking eat. We all just need to eat.
Consistent, and stop skipping meals to try and save calories. You're actually doing
Yes.
yourself a disservice, and it's making it worse.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I think that is probably one of the biggest things that's always missed when it comes to gut health and digestion in general is the under eating. We never correlate those two things. Like, people don't ever think that it's coming from that. But there's so many aspects. As I said, lack of nutrients, lack of fiber, lack of just like digestive movement. Eat your food.
Hydration, water,
Yes.
lots of
Yeah.
water. And
Lots of water.
you love talking about water. You go.
Do I?
Yeah, I feel like somebody told me like Shev loves water, and I was like, now it's in my head. Shev loves
Well,
water.
yeah. I do love water. It's because no one
It's so
drinks enough.
important. Yeah,
And
no one
like literally
does.
no one drinks enough, and then wonders why they have brain fog. They don't have good digestion. They wonder why they have also, okay, one common misconception myth, not even to do with gut health, but to do with water. We for some reason think that the more water that we drink, the more water retention we're gonna have. That is the opposite of how it works. I have heard so many girls tell me that they're bloated because they're drinking more water. That is not how it works. The more hydrated that your body is, again, the better that it functions, and actually the better everything moves around and kind of gets flushed out. So it is the opposite to that. The more water you drink, you're not going to be more bloated.
Maybe if you're
That's a myth.
sculling it in one sitting.
Yeah, if you're
But
drinking like 3 liters
consistency.
at once, then maybe, but
Yeah. Of course that's going to happen. And if you have the complaint of like, well, then I have to go to the toilet all the time. Well, you get more steps. You get to walk away and have a break and take some deep breaths and have a moment towards the day. But isn't that better than dealing with all the
yeah,
bloating and issues and brain fog and all the issues you're having?
yeah.
Absolutely. Go fucking
And
pee a few
also,
more times in a day.
again, let's just stop complaining about things that are not
Yeah.
that deep. Like, if you have to get up to go pee a couple more times during your day, like, so come on, it's not that much of an inconvenience. Go pee.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my
The
God.
things that we choose to complain about now is actually ridiculous. But again, that's a whole different tangent. The only other thing that I wanted to say on the topic of gut health, but also bloating specifically, double check in with yourself of bloating is common, not normal. However, there's also different levels of what I would say bloating is. We don't want to have the really uncomfortable, painful, your stomach feels like really hard bloated. Another area that I think social media has done us a disservice, there is all of these girls posting on social media with their constantly flat stomachs, has now made a lot of women think that unless they constantly have a flat stomach, they must be bloated, and it's a bad thing that's linked to their gut health. You are going to look different from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed because you have moved. If it's hot that day and the temperature is outside, you're sweating, have more inflammation within your body. You've eaten throughout the day. Your stomach is not going to look the same at the start of the day that it is at the end, but that doesn't mean that you have a problem. That is just natural biology. So double check what you're calling bloating and whether you're making something that actually is normal into something that you think is a problem.
I love it. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, you have any extra questions, drop them in
Yeah.
the comments. I'm sure you guys will. It's a very
Yeah,
controversial topic.
it is.
But my thing of the week, I have started using a notebook for my workouts because I just don't want to be on my phone. It's so tempting to look at your notifications first thing in the morning, and I don't want to be doing that. So I've taken it to a whole nother level, gone back to the bodybuilding phase and writing in a notebook, and I love it. So
Love
yeah.
that. That's so good. That's like proper back to the bodybuilding phases.
And then you don't get distracted. Your workouts are faster. Like you're not
Yeah.
scrolling. You're not getting, you're just all over your phone otherwise. So
Yeah.
highly recommend.
No, I love that. What have I done this week? I'm reading a book at the moment, which is really interesting. It's called The Midnight Library, but it's a really interesting concept. It's basically a book about a girl who decides that she wants to die. She wants to commit suicide because she hates everything about her life. She just constantly is like living with regrets, really ungrateful for her entire life, doesn't see anything positive in her life. So tries to commit suicide and ends up in this midnight library. And the whole plot of the book is her being able to choose different pathways in her life. So instead of being like, okay, this is your one life, she gets to go and pick a book that's like, if you had made this decision or this choice at that point in your life, this is what your life would look like. And there's like these thousands and thousands of different options that she then gets to go and choose and like live if she'd made that slightly different choice, what her life would look like. But I think the whole preface of the book is actually being like, you need to be appreciative of what you've got, because regardless of what choice you make, there's always going to be things that you're not happy with. There's always going to be regrets that you have or decisions that you wish that you'd made. But ultimately, you do actually only get one life, and you're never going to live a life that's like 100% great, happy all the time. But it's a really good book so far. I love it.
Sick. That is a cool perspective. I love
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Midnight Library.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening and joining in today. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.